Share this to the book to let individuals know that I'm on the road and on my way. It's Friday. You dig? Another week of work in the books on way home. Feeling motivated and inspired. The jokes are turning in my brain right now. The big thing, I'm gonna wait till a couple people get in, so I just want to hop in and start yapping, but I want to have at least one person that I'm speaking to because I'm inspired. Oh my gosh, shoot. And when something motivates me to be creative, my creative process is I write it until the wheels fall off. And I just love when I could reuse a series of jokes that I haven't used in years. And but besides that, like what's going on this weekend? I'm gonna be chilling. I gotta work my other job tomorrow a couple times. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool because I need the money on the side. I've spent a lot of bread within the past couple of months. I'm just vacationing and catching up on credit cards and stacking up and stuff like that. Essentially trying to do like everything at once. Excuse me. I'm not a rich man. I only have a certain amount of resources that come in on a bi-weekly basis. So, until I get to the point where they cutting them huge checks, I gotta spread things thin. I gotta spread things thin and just budget. And this goes here, that goes there, whatever. But it's coming together. It's a slow. I feel like if I didn't travel as much as I did, which is a great thing. It's a bucket list thing. If you have the opportunity to travel, especially when you're like physically able to travel, you do it. Even if you can't really afford it, man. Because once you go in that casket, unless you're super rich, the bills are always going to be there. I think the goal winning at life, once you pass on and transliterate into something else, transform into something else, is you want to leave debt free. And beyond debt free, if you could leave something to your family, that's even better. You can easily break generational like financial curses by just managing your funds right and having a decent life insurance policy. So even if you couldn't have enjoyed the comfortable life that much, pass it on. But somebody else will. That's the worst. When you broke, you died broke, and then you leave. Not only is you dying broke, you leaving people with the bill. Damn. Now everybody's stressed out at the funeral because you didn't have your ducks in order. I got my life insurance policy. You know what I'm saying? I got my beneficiaries. About time, though. About time. No, I've always had it in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But anyway. Oh my God, we get ready. I'm sleeping. Tonight we having sushi for dinner. You know what makes good sushi? It might sound funny, but Big Y makes fresh sushi daily. So if you want to switch it up and do something different, just look at the date. Make sure it says like today or tomorrow or whatever. Get yourself some sushi from Big Y. But anyway, yeah, what's going on is they grilling Fauci. Fauci is having these hearings, and they're questioning him just about his stances with I don't want to say the word too much because I'm tired of getting blocked. I'm tired of my stuff getting flagged. We just gonna call it the plague. His stances with the plague, and he keeps pleading the fifth, blah, 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 blah. And during the time of the plague, between like 2020 and 2022, my pen, I was writing some dope jokes, man, centered around the plague. I was writing some really, really, really dope jokes. But once once the mysterious plague that begins with the letter C just disappeared. Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam. Idris. Hopefully I said it right. Walaikum salam. You said assalamu alaikum. I said walaikum salam. Walaikum salam. But anyway, when you do jokes like that, like period jokes or jokes that concern like a major like world event or something like that, something that's popular for the moment, when nobody's talking about it anymore, the jokes pretty much just die, you know? Like I got this one song I call 12 Days of COVID, and basically the concept of the song, and I said the word, whatever, man. I'm just talking, man. I ain't spreading nothing. The concept of the song is all the different things that would change every day concerning how we have to approach COVID as far as protecting ourselves. And let's see how good my memory is with this song. And I'm gonna go from 12 and I'll go all the way down. From the 12th day of COVID, Fauci told me kids 5 through 12 can get the treatment. If you are vaxxed, you can still spread it. If inoculated, you cannot get it. Weekly shots forever. Booster injections. 1 Johnson Johnson, 2 Moderna jabs. Pfizer approved by FDA. Double COVID max. Stay your behind home. 2 weeks flatten curve. And 6 feet. Keep your hands clean. And like I said, the theme of that joke is every day is like, no, you don't need a mask, but then you do need one. Do you need 2? Then you need a shot. Do you need a booster shot? You might have to take weekly shots forever. If you get the shot, you won't contract or spread it. Then it changed to if you get the shot, you still can't contract it. It's like stuff kept changing every day. And so that's why I made it that confusing song, you know. But like I said, when the popularity, I'm sad to call it the popularity, but when COVID was no longer really in the zeitgeist like that, those jokes, they just felt dated. Those jokes, you know what I mean? Like they was played, it ran its course. I'm trying to do COVID jokes in 2024, 2025. Nobody was really talking about it no more. But they're talking about it now. And Fauci's pleading the fifth over and over again. I haven't really watched it in depth, in detail, but he's not trying to answer any question about anything that he said during that time. He just pleading the fifth. And my thing is, if you stood in your square and everything that you believe that you said was true, why not just say it? Why hide it? You know? So I'm gonna talk about it. These COVID jokes is getting dusted off. Because I saved every comedy video I've ever made. So now I gotta go on my computer. I gotta look up like a lot of my videos that a lot of open mics, a lot of shows that I did back in like 2021. Matter of fact, I think I did the Oakwood Comedy Festival in 2021, and that's when I was really doing the jokes. So I think whatever set that I have recorded from that time period, I got my whole COVID set. It was fire. And at that time, they had this open mic out in Springfield. It was called like the Unicorn. My boy Maverick and my boy Pops used to run it, and I developed a lot of my COVID jokes there too. So if I can go back and dig into the archives and find those sets, I would like to do these jokes again. You know, I would like it. It's crazy. I'll give you some of those jokes a little bit. They were saying how we desperately needed this treatment to save so many lives. And to me, like, saving a life is enough. Like, your life being saved should be enough incentive to take a treatment, right? Even though it wasn't really proven if it was really saving people's lives like that, that's neither here nor there. But because a lot of people weren't convinced, and it wasn't that a lot of people weren't convinced, they were just apprehensive about it because it came out, not only did it come out so fast, but they were just pushing it in everybody's face, and it was just doing all types of incentives. And it was like, yo, if you take this jab, we're going to give you a Krispy Kreme donut. But the funny thing is, they said the people that were more the highest at risk from that plague in 2020 were people that were out of shape and obese. So it's like, they don't want you to die from COVID, but they want you to diabetes. So that was one bit. It's a little wordplay. You know what I'm saying? It's like you care about somebody's health on one end, so you want to give them the treatment, but you want to incentivize them with something that's not healthy. They was offering Popeye's chicken, you know what I'm saying, tickets to Six Flags. Like, you're offering goofy things for something that is serious. That's the joke in a nutshell. If it's that serious, you're gonna be like, yo, it's take this or die. To me, like, death is the biggest motivation. I don't need a donut to get treatment. But if they was really serious about it, and I said this in a bit, they should have offered money. Like, listen, we really need you to take this treatment, but we know you guys don't trust it, but we believe in this so much, and we know it's going to save so many people that we give you $1,000 with this treatment. Don't give me a donut, give me a G, give me a stack. You understand what I'm saying? That if you are trying to influence somebody to do something, offering a small amount of food, to me, that makes it seem like you don't take it that serious. How you a doctor? Yo, this is going to save your life. And if you take it, I'll give you a donut. Like, what is this? We at the dental office. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get my tooth pulled. Then you get your tooth pulled, so they give you a sucker. No, you are the sucker. That's what it is. You are the sucker. Yeah, that's a whole new tag I just added to the joke. Man, wow. But the joke, it stopped that diabetes. Like, they don't want you to die of COVID, but they cool if you diabetes. Like, that's where the joke stops there. All that extra stuff I said about going to the dental office and they give you a blow pop after, that's all added. I like that though. That's like the same thing. Like, you go to the dentist, they treat your teeth, pull a tooth out, and they give you candy as a reward? Like, ain't this the reason why my teeth is falling out in the first place? That isn't, I don't know, whatever. It's something there. I'm gonna work it out. You know, I'm a clean comedian now, or a cleaner comedian, I should say. And then another joke I had, another part, I gotta dig into these archives because there was no point of me doing these jokes anymore because nobody was talking about it. But they're talking about it now, so I'm about to milk this while it's popular. They said it took about 6 months to develop the COVID vaccine. 6 months. Now, most standard vaccinations, what I heard, takes like 20 years or something, like something crazy to develop to the point where they're comfortable with giving it to the public. But this took only 6 months. Did you know that it takes longer to get a brown belt in karate? And we know that brown belts don't fight that good. So as far as the COVID vaccine, it's not that it was bad and it wasn't working too well. It just needed more time in the dojo in order to kick COVID's culo. And then I can't remember it all, but I got basically they were saying that you should take it now because I said something like, I think Pfizer finally got FDA approved. And so people were like, see, the Food and Drug Administration approved it, so it's safe, you can take it. I said, you know what else the Food and Drug Administration approved? Oreo cookies. I said a bunch of stuff. Baby powder. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that I said. Just because the FDA approves something doesn't necessarily mean that it's safe. I had a nice little rundown. I did like a George Carlin style rundown of a bunch of things that the FDA approved that wasn't good for you. I said like Krispy Kreme donuts, Baconators, Hennessy. I said something like, damn, I gotta find this stuff, it's so good. I gotta find it. I gotta find it while it's hot. So I had that. I can't, like, I even looking at my old set list from back then, I have no idea how these jokes go. I'm probably gonna have to dig into my old notebooks because I don't write on paper no more, but I was still writing on paper back then. So maybe I'll dig into my old notebooks and and go over some of this stuff, because I had some stuff, man. I was spitting that wisdom back then, man. I was spitting that ism, You know what I'm saying? Got excited about that, yo. Yeah, so that, as far as new material, yo, I'm telling you, I had like 25 minutes, I think almost 30 minutes worth of like COVID jokes alone. Like I was going in. Like you go on my main Facebook page, you type my name and type in COVID. Listen, I was talking about that stuff so much because it was in the news. It was just something to talk about. You know what I mean? It was interesting and it's entertaining and it's fascinating to see how so many people are just so split on it. And like so many people get so offended if you just don't share a belief that they share. As far as like treatments, whether you're pro or whether you're against. And it's like it always wound up aligning like those that were skeptical, not anti-vaxxer, but were skeptical about this latest treatment. That's another thing too. Just because you're skeptical about a new treatment, a new vaccine, does not mean that you're anti every single vaccine that was ever created ever. I think that is a terrible blanket that people do. Like when you say, hey, yeah, that vaccine was kind of quick and they kind of pushing and offer us goofy incentives. It seemed kind of sus. I think I'm gonna work on my health. You anti-vax? You got vaccinated when you was 4 years old? I was like, yeah, I got vaccinated when I was 4 years old by something that had 30 years of experience before they put it in my body. I had a joke that goes along with that. I was basically saying, trusting a vaccine that was only developed in 6 months is like having a lawyer. What did I say? It's like having a lawyer that's still in preschool or something like that. Something along those lines. The logic is there. I'm basically saying we're not saying we're not saying we're against it. We just say we don't trust how long it's been used. That's all. Yeah, you lost your job because and see if you can get some restitution for that. Because I heard a lot of people are paying restitution for people like losing their jobs for not getting vaccinated, man. This was the first time in history where they quarantined the healthy. That make no sense. If you're healthy, go outside. If you stay home, that's simple. That's a simple thing. How you gonna quarantine people that's not sick? This is the thing that was weird to me. If you got vaccinated, why are you afraid if I'm not vaccinated? That got nothing to do with you, right? This is at the time where they said, if you're vaccinated, you can't contract it or spread it. That's what they were saying. So if you can't contract it or spread it, you me. But then they said if you can still spread it and you can still contract it. So what the hell is the point of getting vaccinated? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I wish I could remember that joke of talking, basically giving a counter for people that are saying, well, you was vaccinated when you was 4 years old. I was like, yeah, I was 4. I have a chance. My mother made me do that ish. And it was from treatments that they were doing for 60 years. You compare somebody that's 60 years old to somebody that's 6 months years old. You got somebody that's doing your taxes. One dude got 60 years of experience. One person got 6 months. Who's going to let do your books? I'm just saying. Oh, you said doctors only give out suckers after administering vaccines. I don't know about dentists. That's Matt. Usually you a doctor too, so hey, I can't argue with you, but for some reason I don't know. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. I remember getting candy after going to the dentist. I just remember, and you know what? Even if they don't, that's still funny for my joke. See, in comedy, there's a suspension of disbelief where you kind of twist things a little bit. Or I could say that's like giving somebody a Krispy Kreme donut after you give them a vaccination, knowing that this person is obese, is like giving somebody a blow pop after you gave them a root canal. That's what I would say. See, that's the joke. I'm prepared. I know my boy Matt. Shout out to Matt. Matt's an actual doctor. Shout out to doctors. I'm never going to try to debate with no doctor. But when it comes to this comedy, I know what I was doing. I know what I be doing. But yeah, I had so much stuff. So I would do the Karate Kid dojo joke. I would do the oh, did I say the juvenile joke? No, I didn't. Okay, so here's the other joke. If I said it already, whatever, I'm going crazy, I'm gonna say it again, whatever, we're practicing. I said, man, they was trying to convince so many people to take this job. They were starting to get a lot of celebrities on board. One of the biggest ones they got on board was the great, renowned philosopher and poet Juvenile. And he came up with the song, Vax That Thing Up, in the style of back that thing up. And the gist of the song was, if you want somebody to back that thing up on you, or if you want to back that thing up on somebody else, make sure your partner has that jab before you have any wobbly, drop it like it's hot. Not one time in that entire beautiful hip-hop video did they talk about condoms. So I guess COVID is worse than AIDS, herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia combined. Now, in my joke, I'm not going to say all those things. You know what I mean? So, and if you are an individual and your main motivation was a spoof song by Juvenile, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. That should not, Juvenile and Krispy Kreme donuts should not be the motivation for you getting medical treatments. They was playing in our face with that. It was offering chicken sandwiches, beer. Yo, we give you a 6-pack of Heineken if you take this Pfizer shot. And I don't think weed was legal back then. Imagine if weed was legal nationwide during COVID, of them trying to incentivize to get the shot. Like, listen, man, you need these shots. I know you don't trust it and nothing like that, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you take the jab, we got these nickel bags for you, yo. You take the jab, we got a damn sack of weed. And not even like a good amount of weed. A $20 bag, damn. At least give me an eighth, whatever it costs. Give me a $100 bag of weed. If you are so sold on how effective this treatment is, at least the bag of weed you give me gonna be worth more than $20. Damn. He said, how I feel about comedians stealing jokes. I think as a comedian, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. You know, as a comic, the thing that determines your soul and what you do is coming up with creative, funny ideas on your own. Yes, there are a lot of people that have like similar premises and there's like a lot of parallel thinking, but it's up to you to juxtapose it and put it together and make it your own. You don't steal. You know, you draw off your own life experiences. You know what I'm saying? I think it's terrible. But the problem nowadays, especially with TikTok, and I talked about this in another one of my podcasts, is that everybody is mimicking. Everybody's lip syncing. Like I do something dope. You know, maybe one of these clips goes viral of me complaining about the vaccines, like about people pressuring to take vaccines. And then somebody literally has my audio in the background and they just doing exactly what I'm doing. That's not creative, man. Like the chick that blew up during the 2020 elections, all she did, I forget her name, she light-skinned black chick. All she did was just lip sync like she would have Donald Trump's voice in the background and she just like doing his facial expressions, and it was cute or whatever, but like that got her like a Netflix deal. She's a comic and you know, she's an author. More props to her. Like however you get in the game is however you get in the game. But I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, this is corny, man. And then when it came to her actual like sketch comedy show on Netflix, all I gotta say is watch it. I don't even think it's on there anymore, man. Like it was unbearable. I'm sorry. Like I said, props for getting to the game, but you put your stuff out there on front stage, you put your art out there, people are gonna scrutinize it. And just like that's the executives saw her lip syncing Trump, just making funny facial expressions, and they thought that would translate to like consistent sketches. They even had, I think they had Maya Rudolph, who was Minnie Riperton's daughter. You know what I'm saying? She's an OG actress and comedian. And I forget who else to help her out with the show. And that was whack. I don't remember her name at all. But this whole mimicking stuff, man. And it's crazy because like in the late 80s, early 90s, and I spoke about this the other day on my podcast, but I talk about it again. Milli Vanilli actually got caught lip syncing. They never really sang, even though they could sing, but their voices were never used in their music. And they got caught at Lake Compounce in Bristol. I just found this out because I was at Lake Compounce last week. And you know how you're reading like the different pictures and the history of the place. And that's when Milli Vanilli got caught. So back then, copying and lip syncing and pretending, that ended your career. But nowadays, copying and lip syncing and pretending will make you go viral. I think Ha Davis was on Shannon Sharp. He was like, yo, you ever steal jokes sometimes? He's like, yeah, sometimes I do. They don't know who that nigga is, man. He ain't gonna use it. That's messed up. No, you don't do that. You come up with your own. Or if you're gonna use somebody's stuff, at least I got this from this person, but I'm making my own. At least give them credit. When Robin Williams used to steal people's jokes back in the days at the Comedy Store, he used to do it so much that his agent or his manager would just pay people for their jokes. Here's $100, here's blah, blah, blah. Like, because Robin Williams wasn't right. He would just watch people get inspired, freestyle riff, and then pretty soon he doing your closing joke. Before you go up, you're like, damn, I can't do my joke. Robin Williams did it. But that's why I say you got to write your jokes in a way that they are unstealable. They got to have different layers, different trap doors, different certain kind of awkward phrases in the way that you speak. So if somebody like tries to steal it, they can't because it's your own awkward style. To me, if somebody's able to steal your joke, it is because your joke was stealable. I don't justify it. I do not justify the thievery. But I think the more complex, the more layered that you write it, the more that it's centered and rooted in your essence, in you, it is much, 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 much harder to steal that joke, man. It's way harder. People are going to always try to steal your stuff. If you're creative, they're going to. That's why the challenge is to write the jokes in a way to make it unstealable, man. You see how I write a lot of my jokes? A lot of my jokes got a lot of layers, and sometimes I'll sing a little bit. Sometimes I'll have like a poetry cadence in parts of it and different metaphors. I do impersonations. Like, my stuff ain't simple, man, to where it could easily be lifted, easily be taken. My stuff is not simple. I'm not saying it can't be stolen, but to me, things that are copied and emulated, they are copied and emulated because they're easy to be copied and emulated. That's just what it is, man. No, I don't agree with joke thievery, though. I think it's terrible. I never stole jokes. Never. I've been inspired as far as I may not have spoke on a certain topic. Somebody talked about a topic. I was like, you know what? I got to take on that topic too. So I may have been inspired by a premise, but a punchline? Nah. I remember like a premise that people took from me, right? When I used to do a lot of comedy in Northampton. Nobody was talking about pastrami Rubens. Nobody is mad. It's so random. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, like some other girl, pastrami Rubens. Like, you know you heard that from me. Or just the word pastrami in general. It's a funny word. Like in this Connecticut area, Southern Mass, Central Connecticut area, nobody was using the word pastrami. It was me. You know what I mean? But I don't have the copyrights or the trademark of the word pastrami, so I can't be that mad, but you know where it came from. But when you layer the whole joke, and I talk about the reason why I know I was getting old, because I really do enjoy the taste of a pastrami Reuben, and I break down all the flavors and how I eat it, when I eat it, what I'm watching. Then I do the Golden Girls song. I tie it all together, and then I use pastrami Reuben as a callback later on. That is extremely layered. That ain't no just simple one little thing. There's a lot of thought that goes into this when I write this down so that I'm not stealable. Or you might just think it's corny. You might think it's corny, but the way I deliver it in my own unique way, man. But yo, I'm just checking in for y'all on y'all. Thank y'all for popping in, the homies, Constance, Matt Jones. Anybody want to look out? Look at my profile or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hit your boy with a donation. I'm comedian at Comedian Mo Green on Venmo. That's Comedian MoGreen and $ Comedian Mo Green on Cash App. If y'all want to bless your boy, you know what I'm saying? Hit the contribution box. And with that being said, there is no such thing as writer's block. If the comedy guys have not given you anything new, describe it as their way of telling you to work on the things they already gave you. Stay away from the gossip, stay away from the rumors, stay away from the nonsense, stay away from the negativity, stay away from the foolishness, focus on the funny, and lead with love, because life is not something that happens in spite of you. Life is an experience for you to behold, so get to behold it. With that being said, y'all have a wonderful, safe weekend. Drink responsibly, drive safely. Peace.